Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is The Rat's Nest. I'm joined as always by Kyle, the Crab, and Trevor, the Raccoon. Say hi, you two.
Hello.
That's Kyle.
Howdy.
And that's Trevor. You see, everyone, because there are three of us here, and I introduce myself as the Rat, that leaves two unknown characters. I want to make sure everyone feels represented. This is a safe space. Today, we are talking about the JOJOLands, Chapter 7. Let's go to the manga reader's house. Let's go to the manga reader's house.
This is 8. No, we're on 8. We're on 8.
Correct yourself. It's 8. Say 8, Brandon.
The JOJOLands, manga Chapter 6. Let's go to the manga author's house.
That's even further from the truth.
Good reference. I get
The
it.
JOJOLands, Chapter 9.
No!
I wish.
We got the bi. I don't know, because bisexual devil is bi-weekly. I don't know what's worse than being bisexual. Oh, dude, the bipartisan devil. The bipartisan devil, dude. The bipartisan devil. I hate people who are bipartisan, bro. I want as much division as possible. Anyways,
we got a good chapter here.
A pretty good
Chapter 8.
Which I have read. I've totally read this chapter. I totally haven't not read this chapter.
You're the last one to read it, Brandon. Come on.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't even know what you mean. Anyways.
Okay, let's just start the chapter review. That's why we're here.
Yes, let's get into.
It'll take long enough as is.
No, dude, we have to have good banter so that people watching think that we're funny, so they watch the video. You can't come in and be like, "Oh, but you can't be dry. You got to be a little bit wet. You got to be a little bit wet."
The chapter starts out.
I love being wet.
Dude, that's always wet when you're around.
No freaking way. Hey, Kyle.
Nervous sweats. As in like nervous sweats. As in like nervous sweats. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start the chapter.
I love
now.
you, Kyle.
So we start off with pedophilia. We see some older adult woman talking to JoJo, being like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the beach. You got to float for 3 people," and they're just like all chatting and.
There's a float for 3 people. There's just 2 of them.
It's so true. And then I think that's Dragona saying, "Don't flirt with shady adults. Come here. We're going to a cafe." And then they leave. JoJo sees some police officers. The police officers leave him alone, and Paco says, "Looks like Rohan kept his promise not to report us." And then we see a tiny little head bubble picture of Rohan. Say hi to Brandon, Rohan.
No, I don't wanna.
So then we have a little bit of downtime here. A little bit of downtime after the exciting incident with the cat attack. So they say there's still 2 hours before they can board their flight. They're just gonna go get some food or drinks or something. Just go sit, hang out, and then Usagi goes, "Urethra, I have an idea. Hey, Pink-chan, can you hand me $20?" So what he ends up doing?
No. You skipped a part. A very pivotal panel.
What would I skip?
With Dragona saying, "So, is your family poor?"
No, I didn't even get there yet.
No, that's after. The $20 is after that. It's literally 2 panels after that.
Would you mind lending me some cash? $20, just $20 should do it. I'll pay you right back. And then that panel happens after.
I thought.
No, Trevor, you think that Kyle's going faster than he is.
Yes, I did think that you're
It's the
going
funny
faster
panel.
than you were, because you should be going that fast.
I'm sorry.
Don't read
there's
every single.
Dude,
that's piracy.
There's a lot of dialogue.
You can't just
My
publish
job is to
it,
generalize
basically.
it.
All right, everyone. So basically here, the beginning part of this chapter is we see that Usagi has an idea. And he's like, look, right? We need to test out this lava rock thing. And everyone kind of agrees. And yes, Trevor, we do get the funny Dragona picture of, "So, is your family poor? What do your parents do?" And Usagi's like, "Oh yeah, my mom is alive, but my dad is dead." And it's like, dude, no freaking way. He should have been in the saxophone section at our high school. Dude, he's literally us. And then, so they're like, we need to try the rock.
No one's gonna get that joke,
dude. It's the best part. It's like in the one episode on Goobers and Screens. Subscribe to Goobers and Screens, where I said, "Lori, that's my aunt's name." it's really good.
And that's just objectively not true.
It's really good. So What did you guys think of Paco's little plan here with the rock, and they get the $20 back?
Well, clearly you haven't read the chapter.
What do you mean by that?
You said Paco's plan.
Yeah, that's his name. Paco Usagi Pinkman.
No.
Okay,
No.
only one of that was true, and it was the middle thing, and it wasn't even right.
Look, I'll say when I care. You guys continue.
Brandon,
I will
you
say-
can't lie to your viewers.
I
That's
always
not
lie to
cool.
everyone, dude.
They're
I
gonna
always lie to everyone.
unsubscribe, dude.
Dude, one
You're
time I said that I wasn't from Seattle, dude. I lie all the time. I love living in Seattle, the great state of Seattle.
Yep, exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Seattle, Missouri.
Anyway, one thing I do like is I just like seeing these characters banter and just have interesting just sets of dialogue with each other. I don't know, it's just enjoyable watching them talk with each other. And I do like Usagi's plan to test out the lava rock and see what it does.
Yeah, where it's interesting, where basically the thing that is here, and his theory is, he's like, okay, I think that it has to touch. It has to touch the thing to like recognize its value, and then it will come back to its owner. Is that what he was saying? I mean, I did read the chapter like 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so he puts it on top of the $20. He balls it away. Someone picks it up, throws it, buys something with it. But then Paco comes back with like drinks and stuff. I think they got like extra stuff given to them, and the $20 came back.
No, so what happens is Paco's bringing them the food, and then like a fly buzzes out of his drink, and then he's like, "Yeah, I made a big stink about it, and I got like an extra, and I got a refund of $20, and it was the 20 that they had marked."
Yeah. So basically, the flow of luck is very, very strong with this lava rock. This mechanism,
For whatever reason,
this mechanism brought it back. So it's
Well, it's not necessarily the flow of luck, because I would say a fly flying out of my sealed cup would be an unlucky thing.
How did he fly through?
Even
the
if
seal?
it did itself.
Dude,
What?
why is there a seal in a cup? Dude, seals are pretty big. This mechanism brought the $20 back to them. So this is a pretty irrefutable mechanism. But it also seems like the rock changes owners pretty easily, because JoJo just like picked it up and then it was his. Like it has no loyalty.
It's not that it changes owners. It's the rock brings stuff to itself. Like that's what we've always seen. It's not changing owners. I don't think it sees ownership.
Yeah, I don't
Besides,
think it has
maybe
either.
if you like, as soon as the rock touches something, the rock owns it, and so the things come back to the.
And if you just possess the rock, yeah,
that's what
like
I think is going.
I agree with that. I think that makes sense. Like the rock itself, I don't think the rock itself. This could age poorly. I don't think it's like sentient, as far as it seems.
Well, no,
I hope it's not.
It just brings stuff back to it. So if you just so happen to possess the rock, hey, it's going to come back to you.
But the thing that is tripping me up with the owner, right? The reason I said all that is we get the funny panel, and Usagi's like, I had the same idea. We make something touch this lava rock, and JoJo goes, maybe the lava rock remembers the owner, and Dragona's like, owner. So what does the owner mean there?
Yeah, well, that's
Like the
what
owner of the
JoJo
dollar?
thinks. I think JoJo is wrong.
So basically, I'm JoJo here, and you're based.
Exactly. And the
That's true.
the reason why I think JoJo is wrong, and this could be a patented Rocky changes something a chapter after he proves that's how it works.
Dude, he's never done that before.
He's never done that. He never did that in
do that.
JoJoLand. Never did that in Steel Ball Run.
Dude,
I don't know
everything in Steel
anything
Ball
about.
Run, nothing. There was no retcons in Steel Ball Run.
Exactly, no retcons in Steel Ball Run.
Okay. So what happened? What happens is
Yeah, so as I was saying, right? Because the lava rock was bringing the diamond to itself while still in the mansion, right? Like there's no reason why, like, you get the general point that I'm saying.
But it's the question of if it's always bringing them to itself, then like, how do you contain it?
Contain
like,
what?
Like if I'm like so say I have the lava rock, right, and I have the diamond. So like if it's bringing it to itself, if I hold the lava rock like out on one side, like I have it in my hand, I'm holding my arm out to one side, I'm holding the diamond out to the other side. Like the diamond is then going to like travel along my arms to reach the lava rock, or because the diamond is in my possession.
Well, no. So like you're thinking about this wrong, right? It's like we see here that it uses like actual things happening. It's not magic. So like when they dropped like the diamond before, they actually dropped it. Like when I think it was Dragona had the diamond in their hand, right? And then they were like, I can feel the diamond in my hand. Then they looked in their hands and it wasn't there. It was on the floor. Like, they just accidentally dropped it. That's, like, what literally happened there, but they accidentally dropped it because of the lava rock. It's moving the physical mechanisms, and, like, you know.
Then, like, if I'm holding the diamond in one hand and I have the lava rock in the other, like I said before, like, the lava rock mechanism is going to make me drop the diamond?
Not necessarily.
How do I keep the diamond?
Well, I mean, you've got the lava rock.
But, like, if it's always bringing it toward itself, then, like, it's not touching.
Bringing it towards itself. It's bringing it back. Back as a relative state.
There's something I'm looking at from the previous chapter. Give me a second. I'm looking at what happens.
The diamond isn't leaving the relative position of what I think is because they're both in the possession of one person. Relatively, they're in the same place. But, like, if I was holding the lava rock and you were holding the diamond, the mechanisms would make you drop the diamond and it roll to me.
So, like, if you were holding the rock and I was holding the diamond, right?
Yes.
And I was standing close to you with the diamond, you're saying that there is a range around the rock, in which case it will bring it back to somewhere.
No. I'm not saying it's a range. It's like a state of mind, right? Like, for example, if I had the lava rock and the diamond, right? I had them. They were both in my possession.
Yeah.
They were both in my apartment with me right now, and they were on my dining room table, right?
Yeah.
They would just be there, and like I could move them apart. Like I could put the diamond on my table and the lava rock, on my bathroom sink, and they'd still be there because they're in the same relative place of being my apartment. They're still in the same place.
But they were both in Rohan's house.
Yeah.
Why was the diamond rolling around in his house? If that's how it works.
Because it's relative. It's relative, right?
You're saying that the rock is sentient to a point?
Not sentient.
Then how can it tell what it's like? So then with the rock, what is the difference between being separated from the diamond in your house? So you're saying the mechanism itself is sentient to a point where it can determine relativity.
Exactly.
Okay, because I was going to redact my previous. I think ownership matters because there's even when Usagi says the diamond, the drawing, and the caviar, however you pronounce it, they were all Rohan's property. And then the rock shifted owners, and then those three things gravitated back toward it with its new owner. So I do think like ownership plays a significant part in this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be willing to say that the mechanism is sentient to a point, like to determine that relativity. Like I would say that relativity definitely has something to do with it. Like I would completely agree with you, Trevor, that like the diamond being in one room and the rock being in another room of your house, like that is entirely different from like the thing that was happening with Rohan.
Yeah, because with that, the diamond was being stolen.
Yeah,
and so that's why.
So I mean, somewhere along the line, there is sentience to determine what is happening.
Yeah.
So then, like,
I would agree with that.
I don't like as to whether I think the rock has like an owner. Like I would say the rock has an owner.
No, I think it's just as much sentience as Wonder of You, right? You know, like the calamity
a natural flow.
Yeah, it's the calamity, right? It it knows when you're even deciding to pursue Wonder of You.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'd absolutely say that it's exactly
this
like
rock
that.
could function in a similar manner then, where like how with Wonder of You, it can determine it can determine a person's state of mind. I feel like this rock could determine a state of mind of ownership. Like if I'm holding the rock and I'm thinking I am the owner, then the rock could probably most likely perceive that and then gravitate objects toward me. Thereby, if they come toward me, they're going toward the rock as well.
Yeah, but then you have to ask the question if before JoJo was the owner and the rock was still Rohan's, why did the flow of good luck or whatever, the mechanisms help JoJo?
Well, they only helped JoJo after he took the rock.
Yeah, after he took the rock, but like Rohan was still trying to stop him.
Well, that's like the rock changes owner really easily. I guess we haven't seen exactly what's happened with the watch and Dragona, but with Dragona taking the rock, I'm pretty sure then Dragona was set as the owner of the rock.
Well, I mean, it also completely depends on, is this group is the gang the owner of the rock?
I think
it's like
that,
what classifies as the owner.
I would say that say JoJo is in possession of the rock and he's the owner. He would still view something that Dragona or Paco or Usagi were holding onto, like if one of them was holding onto the diamond, he would still view that as in his possession. So then I don't think then the rock and then the mechanism would trigger to like pull it because it's like mentally in his mind it's still in his possession.
Yeah.
Should we move on from this from now? Because we spent a bit of time on it, and we could always return to this topic.
I mean, the rock and the mechanism is the meat of the chapter. Like,
that's what everything.
I mean, like talking about the next step where they go into the watch store.
Yeah, I mean, Dragona's like, "Hey yo, I'm cooking. Hold up, let me cook." And Dragona's like, "All right, we're big chillin'. I'm going to try something. You see that watch store? I'm going to give me a watch." And then Paco and JoJo are waiting outside. Usagi and Dragona go inside, and they're looking at watches. Funny antics ensue. Funny guy being a little bit racist because Dragona is a man. And but he sees the diamond, and he's like, "Oh, I can help you out." And then shows him watches. Dragona holds them to the D on his chest. He holds him there, and so it's also interesting because I don't think then the rock is physically touching them, but they still seem to assign to the rock because one of the watches is missing. And then at the very end, we get to see that JoJo and Paco are outside chilling. Then someone throws a bag at him, I think, and it has the 3 cat heads inside. And JoJo's like, "All right."
No, I don't think anyone throws a bag. I think that's just because Paco got them some burritos, and JoJo goes to open the bag, and it's the cat heads there. And I don't think anyone threw the bag. I think that was just.
I was kind of confused. I was kind of confused as to where the bag came.
Yeah, you know me, big reading comprehension guy.
Dude, I can't read it all.
He gets like food for them, and then JoJo looks inside and he's like, "Oh my god, what is that?" And he's looking around. And then he's a warning. This is a warning. There was someone there with us in the forest, and those cats weren't strays, and the cat's owner is here to take back the lava rock. And then Paco looks inside, and it's all of the cat's decapitated heads in the bag. And they start freaking out, and that is where the chapter ends.
Yes. So before we get into kind of the specifics of these two things, there is one panel specifically I want to talk about. Kind of
the one where it says JOJOLands. This is the story of becoming filthy rich.
Yeah.
Again.
What is this implying? Because we see here Dragona taking the rock, taking the diamond, and we get a zoom in of JoJo's face here. And we get a restatement of the JOJOLands. This is the story of one boy becoming filthy rich.
I don't know what it's trying to imply there.
I think it's really interesting because it says this is the story of one boy instead of
not the group.
The story of us becoming filthy rich.
Yeah. Or like Kyle said, like the story of a group. The story of one boy. And what I think is interesting here too is looking at it, right? Without getting into the whole discussion of Dragona's gender, right? And whatever. Theoretically, one boy, it doesn't have to be JoJo. Could be Paco, could be Usagi. Again, depending on how Araki is going to ultimately present it, Dragona. The one boy, it's not necessarily JoJo.
I'm not gonna say Dragona because Dragona has a colony stand. That's not one.
That's true.
And Paco's entire stance is body, and then Mate Kudasai, there's two of those things. November Rain, it's just one, so thereby it counts.
Just one so far. Creates multiple raindrops that spin.
Oh God! Don't talk about chapter 86 like that. You can't just spoil it.
So with it zooming in on JoJo's face here,
I feel like it is suggesting heavily it's JoJo.
That JoJo is like suspicious or jealous or like he doesn't want to get rid of the rock. Because remember what Rohan told him, right? Rohan was like, look, don't trust anyone else. So I wonder then if the main villain of the JOJOLands isn't going to be Dragona.
I don't think
I'd go that far. I don't know what this is implying, but I wouldn't say it's going so far as to imply that it's him. Because I mean, JoJo is okay with like giving up the rock earlier with like the experiment, and then in the store too, and they like Dragona makes a good point by saying we shouldn't get on the plane until we know what this thing can do.
Well, he doesn't really give up the rock with the $20 experiment. He just, assigns the money to it, and then they go off and do stuff. This is the first time he's had to give up the rock, I think.
I don't think it's going that far to imply that he's like a bad guy with that. I don't know. I don't really know what it's implying, but I don't think it's trying to imply that.
Yeah, I think that this is a flash forward to him in the present, reminiscing about the story. It's him like in the future.
Oh, it could be.
It's a flash to the future where he is narrating the story.
That, or I mean, it could just be a weird out-of-pocket moment. I mean, like, I know that's kind of weird to say, but it could just be a weird moment of kind of the outside narration coming in and giving some weird angle of JoJo for whatever reason. I
feel like that's gonna be super important. Or maybe it's gonna be like Flashback Man, and it means absolutely nothing.
I hope it means. I don't know. I hope that there's something that comes of this. But yeah, it was a little weird the first time I saw it. I was like, oh my God, why are we getting the narration again? Yeah, usually that happens at the beginning and end.
What's
Araki? He's broken tradition. Usually he does it early on and then at the end.
Oh, dude, that's because this is the last chapter.
Dude, no way. Dude, I can't believe it got axed after 8 chapters. That sucks.
Yeah. So I'm just looking to see anything specific where they're in the store and yeah, they're looking around at the watches. We get the funny scene of them.
Like the interesting thing here, tying into our conversation earlier, right, is we have Dragona potentially, depending on where the watch ends up, taking quote unquote ownership of the rock. Right? So Dragona takes ownership of the rock. And the watches are assigned to the rock without directly touching. Let me go back and make absolutely certain. But I'm pretty sure that Dragona just touches the rocks to like the D thing where the rock is hidden.
Yeah.
And not the rock. And theoretically,
they take the watches on their wrist, and they put the wrist out to the emblem on the chest.
Yeah. Transitive property. I don't know. Like, I maybe it is close proximity. I'm not sure.
Okay, but
that or wait a minute.
Back at it, the watch that's missing was never assigned to the rock.
I just had an idea. Okay.
The crocodile leather watch was, the Link one was, but the watch that was missing, we never see Dragona wear.
Wait. All right. I have a theory. Okay. My theory is it's something to do with this new enemy's stand power. It knows. Okay. We know, like we can infer, there is someone going after them because they know what the rock can do. They know what this mechanism-based rock is capable of. And we see that, like, it has some sort of what I would describe as like a teleportation ability, where in that bag where there was food, there is now decapitated cats. Like it just the food is gone, and there was something in there, and they never let that little baggie out of their sight as far as we can see. It's just, hey, yeah, let's just eat some of this, and then they go in and it's like, oh, it's dead cats. So if it's not the watch that was assigned, maybe it's the enemy user doing this to them by like pulling out one of the watches and like separating them forcibly, where if those two are stuck in the store, he's able to pick off JoJo and Paco and then attack those two later to get the rock back. Divide and conquer. That's my theory. I'm sticking with that.
That's smart. I could definitely see that being the case.
Yeah,
because the disappearing watch isn't a matter of the rock. That's not a matter of the rock.
Yeah, no. The thing that clicked it for me was when you said it wasn't the one that was, because I see that watch.
Yeah, and then it's the crocodile leather, then like the chain link one. And those are the only two watches that Dragona tries. And then also, like, it's while I think Dragona is trying the second watch
that it disappears. Because it's the third one that's gone. And unless Usagi's gaslighting her, which he's definitely not, it's gone. And then we see the enemy stand user's ability proc, where the cats failed him, he's killed these cats, and then we see the thing with the cats. That's what I think. I genuinely think like it's someone who's smart splitting up the group and selectively like attacking half, because those two are in the store, those two are going to get in trouble, whatever's going to happen with them. He can easily go get them later. If he was watching the whole thing, or just like if he knows what happened, he could probably assume that JoJo is the bigger threat here and go after him.
Yeah, JoJo and I guess Paco didn't really do a ton,
but Paco did almost beat out Rohan. I mean, like he had him in a headlock. I don't know if he'd know that, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna stick with that theory. I really do think it's someone trying to separate them. With its power. A teleporting stand power would be kind of interesting just to see what happens. Like swapping the placements of objects.
We already have a teleporting stand.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean 2 of them actually. 3 of them if you count the world twice.
You can count the world 3 times.
Why can you count it 3 times?
The world, but cooler, Star Platinum, the world, and King Crimson.
Oh, and the world over heaven. Don't forget that. So that's even more.
Yeah, but like King Crimson, that's not what King Crimson does. I guess you could call it teleportation, but it teleports everybody in the vicinity.
It teleports everyone at the same pace of time that it normally happens, and time goes as normal. That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this was a very good chapter. I am interested to see where this fight goes. I'm me, big JoJo stand battle guy. Very excited to see how the next stand battle goes. So, I guess one question to ask: what do you guys think of the cat encounter? The cat encounter is done. What do you guys think of that? Looking back on it.
I mean, I'd have to reread it from the beginning of it, but like it didn't grip me as much as Fun did.
It was a decent intro. Like the big stuff was with Rohan. I think the cats though. I think the cats were decent enough showcasing everyone's abilities. Because now that we have everyone's abilities established, it feels like we can get into the real meat and potatoes of the stand battles now.
Yeah. Except for us, like pretty much still knowing nothing about what exactly is going on with.
I feel this. Look. This is. Mark my words, guys. This next arc. We're gonna figure out November Rain does come hell or high water.
Yeah, probably, depending on how we see the fight. Because, like, if we see it initially, we're only seeing the side with Dragona and Usagi, then, like, yeah, it's going to be a hot minute until we see what's going on with JoJo.
No, okay, predictions. I feel like for the next chapter, let's say it's about the same amount of pages, I feel like a third of it will be dedicated to what's happening in the store, and the other 2/3 are going to be starting the fight. It's going to start with them in the store, and it's going to cut back to being outside the store, and they're going to be like, whoa, what's happening? Why did my shoe get swapped with a bunch of needles? Whoa.
A dead fish.
A dead fish is sucking my feet. Whoa. That'd be crazy.
I don't like that joke. I disapprove personally.
Trevor, what do you think? You're the deciding factor here.
About the joke?
The JoJo, if you will. Please laugh. Please laugh. Please laugh.
That's even worse.
I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on.
Okay. Well, if you guys are this far in the video, and obviously there is something you like, so make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us what your favorite part of this chapter was. Thank you all for watching. We hope that you all enjoyed, and we will see you all next time in 2 months. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.